Hello and welcome to the finale of the Cosmic Tranquilcyon. We're taking a look at the back 9 here at Alcyon Woods. Thank you to Cosmic Disc Golf for running and sponsoring this tournament. And thank you to our Patreon family, as always, for supporting our tournament coverage. And thank you to you for joining us on this final 9 here at Alcyon Woods to bring home a champion for the Cosmic Tranquilcyon. For this video, we'll get started here on hole 10, par 4, 514 feet. Landing zone somewhere near this grass, and then you want to set yourself up for a open look through the trees, up the stairs, and onto the green. Today, it was a little bit windy on this end of the course, as you'll see once we get down there, so that will certainly be a new challenge for these players. And starting us off in the back 9 will be Jason Tiligadas, currently 11 down in 3rd place. Backhand turnover certainly apply. It looked like Jason turned it over just a bit too much. Evan Boyle coming up second on our card for this round. A little bit of a late release, catching an early tree. Chris Villa, common face on our channel, as you mentioned, front 9, as well as a lot of these guys. Throws flex shot, gets out to the left side, should be just fine. I'll add a little bit of distance being on the left side for a second shot, but far enough up there should be no problem. And Alex Nicosia will be rounding off our card for this back 9. And a little bit higher, so we get more distance for that backhand turnover, but also a little pinched off. Evan looking like he's trying to cut the corner here, using the airspace on hole 11's fairway, I believe. Catching a tree, but now he's committed. He's throwing backwards on hole 11 and just barely makes it back to 10's fairway. So back to the rest of these guys' tee shots. Jason Tiligadas, pretty good shot, getting within the circle. He'll have a look for birdie. Chris Villa, beautiful second shot. Using the ground to skip up there. Alex, closest of the 4, but a little pinched off, throwing the forehand turnover. Looked like it was just a bit too stable, but he'll have a long look at it for birdie. So Evan here now already on his 4th shot and still quite a ways from the basket. Probably just trying to get this close and unfortunately catches a tree. So that's going to be a bogey at least and still has some work to do. Took an unconventional route, maybe trying to get an advantage over the rest of the card, but it did not pay off. And Jay falling victim to the wind there. Certainly lifting that disc and throwing it more than he anticipated. Evan to save the bogey. Fortunately stays fairly close, but again, that his next shot is going to be for a double. And Alex misses by quite a bit too, so I think the wind's certainly playing some tricks on these guys, especially because the rest of this round hasn't been windy. Maybe taking a hole to adjust. So to save the par, good putt. Right side of one tree, left side of another. In the wind. Not an easy one for Alex, but he manages it. As Chris comes over to tap in his. So 3 pars. And of course the fortunate double for Evan, bringing him back to 10 down. But still quite a few holes to go. Moving over to hole 11, par 3, 288 feet. Drone is flying the forehand line. There's also a dead straight, very tight gap to the right that some of these players, I'm sure, will take. As we see, Jay looks like he's lining up for the right side, plus that's kind of a tight turn to try to get all the way down there with a backhand turnover. You hear him calling for it to slide, and it does just that. Just barely tapping that pole. Really couldn't have gotten the distance much better than that.
Don't slide. Don't slide.
Little left side asking for it not to slide. Gave it a little bit too much power. Tree certainly slowed it down for him. So those two guys are parked. And now we see the forehand line. Alex taking it a bit too wide. Let's see if Evan can make the correction. Also looks a little wide, but it's coming back. And yeah, that's in the circle. Probably past the basket, but that'll do. So Alex still has a ways to go here. And skips a little past the basket, but he's on the green. Oh, and Evan just off the cage. Really could have used the birdie there. Oh, almost bounced it back out. But stays in to save the par for Alex. Chris and Jay, pretty close. Evan also will be tapping in his par. And I believe Jason got the CTP on this hole. He'll be moving that little flag you see just behind the basket. Taking it from Dax Alvarez. But we will move over to hole 12, par 4, 382 feet. Very tight line, but also very short. So another one of these holes where if you can hit the line, it's a very good chance that you have a look at the eagle. But that is the challenge of hitting the line. So slowing it down, throwing a straighter disc, takes the distance off, but gives you a better chance of staying on the fairway. Looks like that's what Jay tried to do, just narrowly catching that tree on the right side, but got probably almost half the distance, so should be alright. Chris catching the left side. So we can see that this is probably even tighter than it looks on camera. These players having trouble getting through. Alex, no surprise, pures the line. Doesn't quite turn catch cam Wendy around, but he will so far have the best look at it. Let's see if Evan can match. Looks pretty. Oh, that had a late flip. That looked like it was going to start straightening out. Catches a late tree, so now he's right side and going through the rough. Looks like cutting off the corner, catches a tree. And he'll still be on the right side. We'll see how far up he actually made it. Chris off to the left side, but just barely, so he has a pretty clean line. I think he went up just right side of the basket. Jay looks like a little bit tougher line. Big turnover with a stable disc. And that looks perfect. Great second shot by Jay. Evan pretty far into the rough. Still has some work to do to get up and down for his par. Big forehand flex shot and nice dig into the sand. That will work. And Alex for eagle. Just a bit short. But parked for birdie. So Alex, I believe, is 3 for 3 on these short par 4s. But I do have to shout out Adrian Cohn for the eagle on 12. Great 2. Was the only one in the field. At least the only one in the whole tournament, that is, actually. And I'd like to both apologize and shout out Brad Rogers, yesterday's tournament, first round at Tranquility Trails. The only ace of the entire round there on hole 9, like I said, at Tranquility Trails. So congratulations to Brad and Adrian. Great performances in those 2 holes. As we see these guys, Evan and Chris, now tied for that 3rd place spot after coming in the 1st and 2nd places. So see how that ends with this tournament coming to a close. Just a few more holes to go. Starting off with hole 13, 261 feet, so another pretty short hole, but it's a tight, a little bit downhill backhand hyzer. Jay hits the line perfectly. Alex, a little wide. Oh, and then catching a tree. So, unless Alex throws in from pretty far, Jay looks like he will be tied for the lead with Alex. Oh, and Chris, 1 tree away from being parked, but he'll still have a pretty easy putt for his birdie. Evan going with a lot of speed, but slowed down a little bit by that tree and bounces right to about 10 feet. So that will work. HyzerMedia has an Instagram at Hyzer_media. Of course, updates of what we're filming, highlights from rounds, different things like that. So go check us out over on Instagram if you want. Nice putt by Chris. Bring him to 11 down. Oh, and just low for the par save for Alex. So that will be a 2-stroke swing between Alex and Jason, flip-flopping 13 to 14. And as we move to one of the longer par 4s, hole 14, 450 feet. It's even longer than it plays because it's uphill pretty much the whole way. Gotta try to get around the corner on your first throw, and then uphill, pretty much dead straight, a little bit of a right to left finish. We'll get you to the basket here. So backhand turnover or forehand off the tee will likely be the play. A little low for Jay, but he gets just about to the corner. Should probably have a clean look on his second shot, but a little longer than we would expect or want. And that's more of the height you're looking for, but that's kind of fading out. Ooh, gets a good little maybe tree kiss back towards the middle of the fairway. Probably in a good spot. I'm going with the forehand. Looks like a pretty good line. Yep, right. Lands in the middle of the fairway. Kind of gets a counter flare skip to the left, but he's still up the top of that first little berm you're trying to get above. Alex also going with the backhand turnover. Looks great. And gets some tree love right to the middle of the fairway. So, ideal spot. And we see Jay is just barely far enough past that one tree to get up there. And throws a pretty beautiful flex shot right to about 15 feet. Which puts the pressure on Alex to do the same, and he cannot. Being even closer, not able to match. So now he has to get up and down to save the par limit to only 1 stroke that he'll probably be losing to Jay. And a beautiful shot by Chris. Don't look now. He's going to be only a few strokes back as well. Evan also with the opportunity to get very close. And forehand turnover. Oh, but a beautiful roll off the fallen log, back towards the basket. That forehand was fading away from the pin, but able to, fortunately, get closer than that was going to end up. And Alex leaving a little bit too much left, leaks out, does make the putt, saves the par, so limits it to just one. And actually, Jay still has a bit more of a putt than it looked like off the first tee, the first shot, I mean. Taking his time. Oh, off the band. Looked like he was expecting that to drop. The wind kept it up there. So, no harm, no foul for Alex. The score remains the same for the two of them. But both Evan and Chris are going to be getting one stroke closer. Bringing this back to a 4-horse race, if you will. Chris looked a little bit upset, but it was a birdie, so maybe just a little frustration of the entire round, but good shot on that hole. We'll see if that can continue here on hole 15, par 3, 273 feet. Pretty much an identical hole, but a shorter version. Trying to get around the corner to the right. Need to miss a lot of the trees in the middle. Hugging the outside of the turn is more open. If you hug it inside, it's possible to get through, but you're going to have to miss some more stuff. Chris does get through very far inside, but he's going to be about circle's edge for that putt he'll have coming up. Evan just bit inside again. That forehand. Oh, Jay, a little bit too far outside. You want to hug that outside. You can see from the catch cam's angle, it's very open there, but just a bit too much. This looks better, and narrowly missing those last couple trees on the outside. And that will be a fairly short putt for Alex. Evan looks like he's going to cut the corner. Forehand through everything. And that'll be a putt. Land right in that middle island of trees, probably 25 feet from the basket. Maybe 30. And Jay giving it a bit. Oh, from maybe almost 100 feet, hitting cage. Great bid by Jason. And, oh, through the chains for birdie. Chris Villa getting the unfortunate spit out. Just a bit off. Evan certainly not having the round that he wanted. Great first round. But through 15 holes in the second round, he's now 1 over. But that lead was so big coming into this round that he's still only a few out of the lead with 3 holes to go. As Alex gets the only birdie on this hole and ties the lead with Jason. And we'll head over to hole 16, par 3, 327 feet, probably the most open hole on this course. And only for a moment as you throw from the woods and land back in the woods. But there's a lot of airspace in the middle, so you can kind of throw a variety of lines as long as you get through the initial gap. Backhand hyzer's a good play. Forehand flex shot works as well. That was a little bit wide, but fortunate to land right in the middle of the fairway. This is more like what you're looking for. And a little bit too much fade at the end, but he's in the green. Jay calling for the wind.
Wow, I was expecting that to push and it's never good.
To push his disc right to left. Probably what happened to Chris's disc, actually. The field is wide open on the right side. Looks a little high. Oh, Evan running the basket. Really trying to make up some ground. Probably less than a foot between the edge of the chains and his disc. Oh, and Alex also looking like he was running it, knowing that he's tied. And Jay has a putt for birdie. But now he's going to have a long putt just to save his par. Oh, good tree. Evan still running it. Trying to make up some ground. Know that time is running out in this tournament. Off the band. This group having some putting struggles as of late. Keeping anybody from really running away, but Jay does have a one-stroke lead over Alex now, who does still have a fairly long putt. Low ceiling from a knee, and another one off the band. So that will be another two-stroke swing between Jay and Al. So just a few holes, it went from a one-stroke lead for Alex to a two-stroke lead for Jay. Couple strokes back each for Chris and Evan, with 2 holes to go. First one being the monster of a hole, 17 par 4, 649 feet. Tunnel shot to start off. Need to get left or right of this big tree, landing somewhere in this fairly open area, setting yourself up for a difficult line of a second shot somewhere around this leaning tree, needing to go right to left around this corner, but then to get to the basket you need to bend back to the right, trying to land somewhere up this little hill onto the green and somehow give yourself an eagle. This really does play more like a par 5, but if these guys want to push for the lead, they're gonna have to go for it, so we'll see what they decide to do.
Come on!
Jay catching that tree that they're trying to miss, so doors open. Chris, good hyzer flip, gets all the way around, just barely trimming that little tree, and anytime you get right up to the catch cam, you know it's a good shot. Beautiful line, needs to miss it. Oh, and it does. And with that skip, looks like it's going past catch cam Wendy, maybe just next to Chris's shot. Alex looking to match. Oh, also catches the early tree, but looks like he fortunately stayed on the fairway. So, big hyzer. Looks like he landed left side in the rough, not super thick. His height will definitely help with that shot. Jay, a similar shot shape, but looked like a bit shorter, so this looks like it might be a race for a par for those two guys. Chris, oh, that one last branch was what kept him from getting all the way up to the basket for that birdie look, the elusive birdie. And Evan going very wide. Backhand turnover going so much turnover that it got caught up in the same tree that Chris did. And pretty good third shot. That'll be 20-footer, a little bit uphill for Jay to save his par. And like I suspected, Alex's height giving him not much trouble to get over those bushes, and actually throws long of the basket in 3 shots. Evan just a little low. That was for birdie, and this is also Chris for birdie. Oh, and rolling away. Not too far, but definitely not what you wanted. Sneaking over the rim for Jay. And this is a long putt for Alex to stay within 2, and he nails it. Branch in his ear, straddle putt, low ceiling. Knowing that he needs to stay within 2 to have any chance to catch Jay on the last hole. These guys tap in and have 4 pars in hole 17, which is what almost the entire field got. No birdies on the day from the MPO field. Mostly pars, a lot of bogeys, and double bogeys. Certainly a difficult hole. A little bit of an easier hole. Hole 18, par 3, 249 feet, but there's a lot of trees that you need to miss to get all the way up to the green. And this will be the deciding hole for this tournament. Jay coming in with a 2-stroke lead.
Deflectors, right? That's what you're talking about?
Alex will need to birdie and hope that Jay makes a mistake to give himself a chance. That needs to keep turning. Oh, it's fading out. That is maybe the opportunity that Alex needed. That's quite a bit away. That's not an absolute up and down for Jay from there. And long and past the basket for Evan. Pretty good clean shot all the way through. Maybe not expecting to get through that clean. So he's far side of the green. And Alex, good shot. Wow, that got a lot of ground play. Couple steps inside of Evan's shot, so he'll have a look for birdie. And Jay needs to get this up and down. And he was actually looked like he was going for it. Maybe closer than it looked. Oh, and catching that tree and another roll away from the basket. So here it is. Alex needs this to have any chance. And another band hit.
There you go, Chris.
Oh. More band hits and spit outs in this round than we've seen in a long time. Evan rightfully not happy with his round after how much success he found in his first round. But Jason Tiligadas taking down his good pal Alex Nicosia and the rest of the field to become your winner of the Cosmic Tranquilcyon. I'll turn it over to Dave Gralnick.
And your winner in first place,
I mean, I saw Dave
Jason Tiligadas. I should say thanks to Dave from Cosmic putting the great event on. Both courses are awesome. Thanks to Discraft. Thanks to Visionary Disc Golf, Hyzer Flip. Have a good time.
Man, a few words, gets in, gets out. Great round. 1,007 rated round, 7 down. Hot round. A lot of good golf by a lot of these guys. Patrick Core sneaking into 4th place. Great golf by everybody. Thank you all for watching. I'm Dave. Appreciate you being here with me. Like I said, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. HyzerMedia also has a podcast, HyzerCast Disc Golf Podcast. Check that out if you're looking for some more disc golf content. Other than that, we'll see you on the next hole.